Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Jordan Weber, and we're going to go over a mobility class for you today that you can go through yourself or you can take your students through. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off in the seated position here. And we're just going to bring our bottoms of our feet together, and we're going to hold the butterfly position. We're just going to hold this position. We'll start on the minute at, let's just say we'll start at 1 minute. So making sure that when you're in these positions, when I say passive stretch, so we're going to start in the butterfly position. Go ahead and place the bottoms of your feet together. Try to open those bottoms of the feet up like a book toward the sky and bring the knees out wide. From here, you're going to passively stretch and hold and breathe upwards to 1 to 2 minutes. You're going to focus on inhaling for 5, exhaling for 10. Breathing deep here. We'll hold it for about a minute more. Just focus on deep inhales and long exhales. Past a minute now. Now what we're going to do is start holding on tightly to the ankles. We're going to drive the elbows into the thighs and drive the thighs into the elbows at the same time, creating an isometric contraction in the adductors here. We're also pressing out, so we're protracting the shoulder, the scapula a little bit to keep those knees down. And as we press up, we're trying to press the elbows down to create even more contraction in that muscle. And what we're doing here is we're stretching out your adductors, and we're also contracting those adductors in this position. You're going to activate that tissue, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use the tissue in the opposite side, so the abductors or the glutes, and we're going to try to externally rotate even further, bringing the knees ourselves down to the ground without pressing them down. So we're going to start like we talked about in that passive stretch, hold upwards of 2 minutes, and then we're going to begin to press our elbows into our thighs, thighs into our elbows from 1 to 100% effort, holding at max effort for up to 10 seconds, and then trying to drive the knees themselves to the ground, maybe squeezing the fist here or just hovering over. But I like to squeeze the fist because if I hover over, I feel like I'm not irradiating as much, so I like to squeeze my fist, and then I pull those knees down toward the ground as long as I can with my safest and greatest effort, still irradiating throughout this entire process, and then I go back to my passive relaxed state where I'm breathing in for 4, out for 8, or in for 5 and out for 10. So we'll go ahead and start the pelvis contraction. So go ahead and press the elbows into the thighs, thighs into the elbows. Hold here and breathe. Go ahead and start amping up to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5% effort, pressing the elbows into the thighs, thighs into the elbows, all the way to 10%. 10% to 15%. 15 to 20%. 20 to 25%, begin to start irradiating throughout the entire body, so squeezing the biceps, forearms, abs, pressing into 30% effort, 35%, 40%, 45, all the way to 50% effort. You can hold here if this is good, or you can go to 60%. 70%. Work your way up slowly. 80%. Press the knees into the elbows, elbows into the knees. 85% effort. 90% effort. Now we're going to go to 100% safest, greatest effort. Trying to press those knees into the thighs, or the elbows into the thighs, thighs into the elbows as much as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now activate your external rotation by trying to press those knees to the ground. Press those knees to the ground, squeeze the fists. Keep squeezing the whole body, squeeze everything. Press the knees down, press the knees down, press the knees down. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Press, 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 and go back to your passive stretch. Inhale 4, exhale 8. A variation to this is bringing kettles on your knees and then going up and down and do some kinetic stretching all the way down at your end range and then all the way up. And then also you can just focus on activating that regressive tissue and then activating that active tissue, just isolated variables, okay? Now what we're going to do is get into the bear position. So slightly different. We're doing external rotation, now we're going to do internal rotation, but we're going to start in bear. Now if you're not able to stay upright this entire time, you can put a box behind you or a wall. Okay, but if you want to challenge the musculature in your spine, then you can challenge yourself by staying in this position here. Stay in bear, feet are out, 90-degree angle, same with the feet, 90 degrees out, and the hips are abducted out or out, okay? From here, what we're going to do is internal rotation of one of our knees. We're going to press the outside of the knee medially. So we're going to press that knee into the ground, into internal rotation here. This is external, this is internal rotation. Going to press and hold passively for up to a minute. So we're at 740. We're going to try to go to 840 and breathe and hold here. What we're doing when we slow our breathing down is just letting the body know that we can hold this position, we can stay in this position, we're fine to be in this position, that everything's fine first, and really kind of assess to make sure that we can even be in this position. And if you can't get into this position yet, then that might be something you might be working on. So hold here and breathe, all the way 840. Inhale 4, exhale 8. Okay, now we're going to go 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. All the way to 10% effort, pressing the knee into the hand, hand into the knee, all the way to 15%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Hold at 40, start irradiating the whole body, 45%, 50%, 55%, 60%, 65%, 70%, all the way to 75 to 80% effort. 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 100, hold for 10 seconds. Trying to abduct the hip out, trying to get that hip out, even though you can't, use that barrier, press down. 3, 2, 1, now we're gonna go in the opposite direction, press the knee toward the ground. Actively, you can squeeze the fist here, actively press the knee down into further, deeper internal rotation. Keep going. Squeeze the whole body. 3, 2, deeper, and 1. Back to your passive stretch. Breathe into that newly acquired range. And you can repeat that process as much as needed or prescribed. Good, and then we'll switch to the other side. We're at 10, 20. Start the pals contraction, 0 to 100%, starting at 0%, 5%, 10%, pressing the hand into the knee into the hand, all the way to 20 to 30%, where the whole body starts to contract into this position, 30 to 35%, 40%, 50% effort, 60%, 70% press the hand, knee into the hand, 80% effort, 80 to 85, 85 to 90, 90 to 100, and hold for 10. And then regressive angle, go deeper into internal rotation as safe as possible with your safest and greatest effort. And then hold that passive stretch as long as needed or prescribed. And come back out to bear, butterfly, and then open it up to 90-90. So now we're going to work on hip abduction. We're going to extend your back knee in line with the hip. Front knee is in line with your other hip, and your front foot is parallel with the knee and at a 90-degree angle here. And dorsiflex the foot and dorsiflex both feet actually. Press into the ground like a kickstand. And from here, we're just trying to abduct the leg off the ground using the outside, the lateral tissue, tensor fascia lata, your glutes, everything that you can to get that leg up into the air. We're going to hold it as long as we can. Up. Extend the arm and hold. And bring it back down. This time we're going to do some axials when we go up. So we're going to go up, and then we're going to externally and internally rotate that leg while we're up there. Okay? Take a breath, take an inhale, hold it at the bottom. Come up, axial rotate. And then come back, try to go all into, go into external rotation where the toe is going up. Then from here, hold on to that, the top of the shin, and as you hold here, you're going to drag that heel all the way as far as you can actively to your glute. And just see how far you can get. And then from here, as far as you can get, we're going to try to lift that foot up off the ground and hold for as long as we can. up, trying to get the heel up, trying to squeeze that heel to the glute actively. Trying to open up that knee, keep squeezing the heel to the glute as hard as you can. Harder, 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 harder. And then we're gonna open it up to internal rotation, hold here. We're gonna just tap the knee to the ground and keep the heel up off the ground and hold. From here, we're going to try to let go of the shin, extend the arm out. We're gonna try to hold an upright position with the foot off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, backhand down. Relax that foot down. Now we're just gonna go external and internal rotation from back 90. Open it up, heel drag, and then knee back down. So open it up, heel drags along the ground, and then back down. One more time, up and out. Now we're gonna go one more time, up and out. We're gonna extend that knee back to our abduction. We're gonna go for one more lift off. Extend the hand, lift off and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly bring it down. And then from here, we're gonna open up. We're gonna reach toward this front foot. As we reach toward this front foot, we're going to bring both feet together. Okay, so let's get to the other side now. Turn to the other side, into your 90-90 position. Extend that knee, hold here. I'm gonna try to repeat that same process, if I can remember. So we're gonna go ahead and abduct and lift off, try to hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. Slowly bring it down. Good. We're gonna try the same thing. We're gonna try to go to those hip axials. Trying to open it up, out and in with the foot. Whole leg moves at the same time when we're up. So embrace yourself. You can extend the elbow if you want, in front, below, wherever you feel like you can get the most irradiation during this whole process. So making sure that you're using your entire body, inhaling, sinking the air low, and then lift off. You can breathe, but don't let too much air out. Ready? Inhale, lift off. Breathe as much as you need as you rotate. You're gonna land that heel down, toe up. From here, you're gonna bend that knee in as much as we can actively. Drag the heel, if you need to, across the ground. Keep going as much as you can, And then from here, hold. You're gonna try to lift that foot up off the ground and hold for upwards of 10 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, inhale, lift off. Hold, try to drag or squeeze that heel to the glute, squeeze, 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 squeeze heel to glute, squeeze heel to glute, squeeze heel to glute. As you squeeze, turn the knee down toward the ground. Don't let the foot touch the ground. Hold your top shin here. If you need to, press wherever you need. Try to drag that foot up off the ground. Push that knee into the ground. Pull that foot up as far as you can. Then from here, hover it over. Internal and external rotation of the hip. External and then internal. Back down. One more up. And extend. Out. And down. Good. From here, we'll shoot forward. This time we'll bring both feet together again, back to butterfly. Okay, now we're gonna get into a hip flexor. stretch. Okay, so get into a one-legged lunge position or a half kneeling lunge, whatever you want to call it. From here, we're going to sink into our hip flexion. You'll feel the extension in the back. Keep breathing into that. Try to have a posterior pelvic tilt. Tuck the pelvis. Hold here. Just breathe. Inhale 4, exhale 8. Here, we're going to start driving the back knee into the ground, contracting that tissue that's being stretched. So feeling that hip flexor being stretched in that back leg. You contract that tissue. You can hold on to dowels if you need to, or just squeeze the fists. 0 to 100%, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. 70%, contract all tissues, 80, 90, 100% effort, safe as possible, hold for 10, safe as greatest effort, and then from here sink further, woo, woo. Oh, don't do that. If you're stretching your hip flexors, I think it's important to have a yoga block to protect the knee and 2 dowels. So what you're going to do is set the back knee on the yoga block, step forward and do a lunge position. Place the dowels out in front of the foot in a shoulder width distance. From here, we're going to hold this stretch passively for up to 1.5 minutes. And then what we're going to do is start pressing the knee into the yoga block and contract the tissue that's being stretched. And then we're going to go from 0 to 100% effort. While we're going through this effort, we're pressing the dowels into the ground. We're contracting all of our tissue, safe as great as we can. Now, if you get to a point of pain, then you've reached 110%. So we're only going to 100%. So you really have to minimize pain by going at a effort that is your at your level. So from here, as you're pressing down, 100% effort, then after that, you'll contract further and deeper into the stretch, into your newly passive stretch. Okay. So again, if you're stretching out your hip flexors, bring your back knee onto a yoga block, step forward, hold on to 2 dowels, hold this position for 1 to 2 minutes passively. Then you're going to activate the tissue that's being stretched by pressing the knee into the yoga block from 0 to 100% effort. And then after 100% effort for 10 seconds, you're going to sink further and deeper into the stretch. And then go back to your passive hold. Okay? Now during that whole process, during the passive stretching, you're going to want to make sure that you're relaxed. But during the contraction where you're pressing the knee into the block and going further into the stretch, your whole body's got to be irradiated as much as possible, or as safe as possible. Now, if you're getting any pain in this area, which a lot of people do, including myself, Make sure you're not really pressing over 100% or you will feel pain. So make sure that you find your own safest, greatest effort. Good luck. This is going to be a shoulder flexion passive range lift off. So I'm in my passive range of motion. I'm going to hold here upwards to a minute, just relax in this position. You might have some coaches tell you to retract your shoulders and set them in and down. You may have to get rid of the blocks, and that's totally fine. What you're going to do is hold on to the dowel and bring your head to the ground and hold here. Breathe upwards to inhales. You're going to inhale for 4, exhale for 8. So this is going to be shoulder flexion, pals, and rails. What we're going to do is set up a dowel on top of 2 yoga blocks. We're going to place the outside, the lateral side of our arm. This is going to be pals and rails, shoulder flexion. What we're going to do is place the outside of the fingers. This is going to be shoulder flexion, pals, and rails. What we're going to do is set the outside of the palm onto the dowel and place the dowel on top of 2 yoga blocks more than shoulder width apart. What we're going to do is hold here passively for upwards to 2 minutes. You can raise your yoga blocks as much as you need, or you don't need to use such high yoga blocks. So you could use something like a barbell or a dumbbell on each side if you wanted to. So from here, I'm going to hold and breathe. Going to inhale 4, exhale for 8. Focus on your breathing. You're going to actively try to use the back, the shoulders, everything to press the dowel into the ground from 0 to 100%, starting at 5% to 10%, 15% to 20%, 20 to 25, contracting the tissue that's being stretched, which is mainly your lats, and it runs down your back. Keep pressing the dowel into the ground, 30% to 35%, contract your entire body now, 35% to 40%, firing the lats, firing the glutes, firing the quads, firing the calves, firing everything to 50 to 60%, using your erector spinae, 70% effort, using your shoulders, using your hands, using your biceps, using your shoulders and back. Here we are at 85, 90%, Squeeze your stomach now. Everything all the way to 100% effort. Hold it for 10 seconds, safest, greatest effort. Try to break the dowel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna lift off, opposite direction as high as we can go. Keep going higher. Squeeze the whole body. Squeeze the whole body. As high as you can go. Higher, higher, higher. 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring it down. And hold your passive stretch. That feels good. Now we can go higher. Okay, same thing. We'll go a little bit higher. Breathe. Deep inhale, slow and long exhale. Begin to press the dowel into the yoga blocks if you want. You can squeeze the dowel, breathe and hold. Press it into the ground. Zero to 10%, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Begin to irradiate the whole body. Squeeze the quads, flex the feet, dorsiflex. Flex the glutes and quads, 35-40%. Erector spinae, lats. Put it in a position that doesn't hurt the hands if possible. Begin to press everything, 60%, 65, 70, 75 to 80, 85 to 90, 95 to 100, 100%, 10 seconds. Try to break the dowel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. As high as you can go. 5, higher. 4, squeeze. 2, and slowly bring it down. Breathe. Hold on if you want to, or just breathe. Again, you can also do this with your arms like this. Pressing down like that, and then up. So you can go down, up, go wider. And then you can go even higher. We go like this. Deep stretch, breathe. start to press the hands into the dowel. 0 to 100%. 0 to 10. 10 to 20. 20 to 30. 30 to 40. 40 to 50. 50 to 60. Everything maximizes control into this area. Whole body effort, 70 to 80 to 90. 100% safest, greatest effort. Hold at 10. 3, 2, 1, lift off. High as you can go. 3, 2, and slowly bring it down. Just breathe. Oh gosh, that was shoulder flexion. Now we need to do extension. Oh. So now we're in shoulder extension, and we're going to start our passive stretch and hold and breathe. Start pressing into the dowel from 0 to 100%. Zero to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Try to break the dowel. 60 to 70, 70 to 80. We're gonna hold 80 to 90. Press the whole body. 90 to 100%, safest, greatest effort. And then we're gonna lift off without trying to roll the dowel. Squeeze as high as you can, and slowly relax it down. Good. Woo. So that's shoulder extension, paddles and rails, and flexion. isometric shoulder flexion. This is isometric shoulder flexion. Let's make it a little bit more difficult. This will make it easier, right? Yeah, actually, let's try. This is isometric shoulder flexion. You're gonna press the dowel into the yoga blocks as hard as you can. Go wider grips. Try to gain strength in the end range.